Hello, 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 beautiful unicorns. Yana Kasperczak, your certified performance coach and spiritual awakening core energy coach who has been obsessed with helping women, helping you get your shit together so you can break free from the mental prison you find yourself in and build a business and a life that you're not only proud of, but happy and excited to wake up to. A life, a business, and or a career that you are obsessed with. We want to feel obsessed. We love the feeling of obsession where we just can't stop thinking about something because we love it so much. I want to hear what that is for you right now. What is that one thing that you can't stop thinking about over and over and over again? And honestly, it can be anything. It can be quote unquote good or bad. Whatever it is that you are obsessing about, there is something in there for you as well. Now, I can tell you lots of things I'm obsessed about. It's not just one thing, it's lots of things. And some of these obsessions, they kind of come and go, or they're more so seasonal, like gardening. I love gardening and I'm obsessed with gardening, but it's one of those things that is more so seasonal because wintertime, I don't really care to do any gardening. And quite honestly, it's practically impossible with the amount of snow that we get here. So right now, or today, we are in my kitchen. So just giving you a heads up in case I'm waiting for delivery and I don't want to miss it because it's bunk beds that we're getting for our cottage, and because I'm leaving to the cottage tomorrow, just the kids and I, and don't want to miss it. We need those bunk beds to set them up so my family can come and spend time there, and we have that extra sleeping for them as well, and I don't want to miss the delivery. So hence why I'm up here, and in case you hear the doorbell or you see, I have the window right here so I can see if anybody comes and they can see me, so that way there's no one that can come stick anything in the door and then not deliver, because I know how some of these people operate as well. I worked in the industry for a bit, so I could not do that. I could not stomach it, whereas others, they wouldn't even bring the package with them and they would just put, you know, that sticky thing that says we missed you and come and pick up your parcel. They sometimes would put that even in the mailbox, and I could not stomach it. You know, that's how I was partially trained to do things, and I thought, that does not seem right. No, thank you. So these cards will tell us what's right today, wouldn't they? Won't they? Okay, let me. So, Will-O-The-Wisp, treasures hidden in the shadows. Okay, remember that question I asked you earlier? What are you obsessed with? What are you thinking about constantly? For many of you, and this is the reason why you're in this group, it's how you feel that you're not good enough, that you're not doing enough, that you should be doing something else, you could be doing something else. A lot of, I don't want to do this, I can't do this, not yet, not right now. It's that voice inside of you, that shadow you, that many of you would refer to as the imposter. And I have learned to call that through the IPEC coach training, the gremlin. The voice of the gremlin. It is so highly personal. It knows how to talk to you. It knows how to keep you down because it knows that when you are down, at least you're safe and protected. And it is familiar. There's nothing new that's going to happen that can potentially hurt you or upset you. So it's coming from a place of love, yet it doesn't feel like that. So there are a lot of things. Your powers are in your shadows, are in your dark self. And this is one of the things I absolutely love about what I do, is helping women to see their superpowers and uncover the superpowers and own their superpowers and build something with their superpowers, those things that they love and obsess about. Some of them are seasonal, while other things, like building a business, for me, is an everyday thing. I think about it all the time, and I scheme around it all the time. I love the word on play of, scheming, where you sit down with a partner, or for some of you, it would be with a coach, and you plan and come up with a strategy. You're scheming, and it's so much more funner that way, using those words. But in the end, it's for the greater good. So, Will-O-The-Wisp, Treasures Hidden in the Shadows, 62. Let's see what this trusty little booklet has for us today. Will-O-The-Wisp. Okay. Treasures Hidden in the Shadows, the Great Mystery, Epiphany. You either had one, or you're about to have an epiphany that will be pretty miraculous, is the phrase that comes to mind. Will-O-The-Wisp hovers in her luminescent glory above the twilight moors of your life, whispering for you to step into the fog, into the mystery, the unknown. It is calling you. So you know how that shadow self is telling you all the things that you're not good at, that you're not bad at, don't do that, don't do this, and you're not enough, and you don't do enough. Those, it's like, what's the word? I can't remember what it's called. It's when you're say one thing, but you expect something else. And that is what that voice is actually trying to tell you in many ways, is that you got to tap into your rebellious side. And when that voice tells you that, oh, don't try that, you know what's going to happen. You're going to fail again, or you're not going to finish it. Your job is to prove that voice wrong, is to see all those things that are coming up for you through the negativity as opportunities. Okay, I don't do enough. In what sense? In what areas of my life do I not do enough? Identify those areas. Maybe it is partially true, or maybe it's completely untrue. And then after you identify those areas, well, in each one of these areas, what is your definition of enough? Because perhaps you have somebody else's definition of what enough is, of what completion is, of what seeing it through is. What's yours? Identify yours. And see that perhaps you're just carrying somebody else's expectations and not your own. So this shadow self is telling you where you need to do a little bit of more work, or a lot of work, and find yourself in those areas, because that's where you're trapped. That's where you're blocked. You may have been visited by her before, but through intrigued, you refused her invitations. But though intrigued, you refused her invitation because you simply were not ready. Now, you're probably ready, or much more ready than you were then. It would be safer, you decided, to remain in the journey you know, to stay in the comfort zone, to stay with what you know and not try anything new, not challenge yourself, not challenge other people in your life by setting boundaries where boundaries are needed, because we all have areas in our lives where we can set those boundaries or reset them. Some of them might be tiny, some of them might be major, but it's up to you No one's going to do it for you. While you always have a choice as to whether to follow her or not, whether to listen to her or not, you never know when you might encounter her again. So when this voice comes to you and says, let's try this, let's do that, if you don't follow it, if you don't do it, eventually it'll stop calling you, it'll stop showing up, you'll give up. It's like, you know, when you had those friends who would come and want to hang out with you and you say no, 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 eventually they're not going to want to hang out with you, or vice versa. Eventually you're going to get tired of asking. And this voice is not much different than that. Eventually it gets tired of asking because it knows it's not going to be heard, it knows it's going to be ignored, so it will move on. Or just stay there quietly until you are ready, and then it'll come back. But if you don't take action, then it will stop showing up. In this sense, turning away has its own consequences. Why is the known so appealing? Why is the known so appealing to you? Why is your comfort zone, where you know exactly what's going to happen, so appealing? Even if it doesn't feel good, even if you're going to feel drained and tired and upset and exhausted and annoyed and irritated and feel like a failure, feel like an imposter, it still is the known, it's familiar. Why is it so appealing? I've answered this question many times already, and I say this all the time, but I want to hear it from you without giving you the answer. I want you to think and ponder. What's in it for you? What do you get out of it? Hey, Rebecca. Rebecca says, hola, amiga. Hola, amiga. How are you? I don't know the rest of it in Espanol. It's only when you wake up to these restrictions, its soft prison or golden cage, that you realize there must be more. When you start to awaken and you realize and you start to question, is this all that life is? Is this all that life is about? Is this the highest point of my life? What is life all about? Why am I here? When you really start to question and ask those questions that are so deeply meaningful, do I belong here? Because I feel like I belong somewhere else. It's like I woke up in this life, in this dimension, and nothing feels right. Or few things feel right, but a lot of things just feel wrong. And that's when you realize that you are in there, in your body, and you're not alone. That there's essentially others in there with you, telling you what and how, and running your life through your default program. And that is why your life is the way that it is, because of all those programs that you are now starting to wake up to, awaken to, and the opportunity becomes, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to stay there? Or are you going to take action on the things that are going to change your life, your circumstances forever? But there's not going to be any backsies. Because once you know something, you can't unknow it. And once you awaken, you cannot go back to sleep. Once the toothpaste is out of the tube, you cannot put it back. You just have to continue on that journey and find your path, find your purpose, find what fulfills you. And the biggest obstacle for you will be that imposter within you, that gremlin that's continuously trying to keep you safe and protected. But it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like you're being bullied constantly. Because it's highly, highly, highly personal. So, Will-O-The-Wisp has come to you once again to offer you magic, but you will have to sacrifice certainty in pursuit of adventure. This is what Empathy Unicorn Academy is all about. One of our values is adventure. You gotta have fun. If your life is not an adventure, and if you don't see it that way, you're doing it wrong. There are so many ways of how you can feel like you are on an adventure every single day. Every single day. Even if you wake up and you're tired and you're drained, there are ways to help you feel like you are on a magical adventure that is yours and no one else's. Your comfort zone for the dangers of discovery. This is where you gotta sacrifice. Let me, I don't know if you guys can actually hear. How do I now close this? There we go. I opened the other screen of notifications and it was like on top of this one. Interesting. Okay. So let me read it because I wasn't finished with that sentence. Will-O-The-Wisp has come to you once again to offer you magic, but you will have to sacrifice certainty in the pursuit of adventure, your comfort zone for the dangers of discovery, your well-trodden path for the detours that may very well lead you astray, or will they? You gotta take chances. You gotta take risks. Those that live the life of their dreams and love their life and obsess with their life and obsess with their businesses and their careers, they're taking chances. They're taking risks. Are they failing? Absolutely. Do they care that they're failing? No, because they know that they learn more from their failures than from their successes. They look forward to failure. They identify what their triggers are and they lean into them. They identify what their fears are and they lean into them. They see them as that is what I'm going to be doing next. Those are the risks. Those are the chances. The big audacious goals is one of the things they also have. How many of you have a goal that is so big and scary that you sometimes find yourself laying awake at night or waking up in the middle of the night and thinking or feeling that you can never have that, you can never achieve that? I used to. This business was it. I did not believe I could. I wanted to, and it was this big monster that kept me awake at night and wake me up. But I started to identify what were those little monsters that were scaring me, that was making up this image and this feeling in my body and in my mind, which comes from the mind. And then I would go after each one. Okay, so this is what I'm scared of. I'm going to do that. Live videos was one of them. And then I went after that one. And I went after the next one. And I went after the next one. And after the next one. But the biggest one of them all was I saw how social media was trapping people in their minds. And how easy it was to get trapped in there. And I identified that as an addiction without the title of addiction. And I avoided social media like the plague. And that was one of the biggest things that was scaring me, that I wanted to figure out how to play the game, if you will, of social media in a way that feels right to me, that does not trap me in there, does not drain my energy, but use it as a powerful tool to build me, myself, and my business. And in the process, the biggest part of my business is helping other women and building other women up, whether they pay me for it or not. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing these live videos for free. These live card readings every Monday for free. I would not be doing them. I would be spending time on the things that would be making me the big bucks. But if we do things for money, we lose ourselves in the process. My goal was to find myself in the process. And to find myself in the process meant, how can I help others through who I am in ways that feel right to me? And here I am doing Monday live, which is the card reading, Tuesday live on my personal page, which is the story time, the podcast that Bethany and I do in this same group of Heal Unicorn, Emotional Healing and Spiritual Growth for Women. And the podcast is Heal the Unicorn that Bethany and I do on Wednesdays. Most of you already know the time, which is 1:45 p.m. Eastern time. And then Thursdays I do the weekly live guidance, Get Your Shit Together, with myself, Yana Kasperczak, at 11:45. Well, my lives are 11:45 a.m. And I do all of those things for free, so I can help so many other women who are just not yet ready to believe in themselves, to invest in themselves and in their future. Some are. You guys will actually see, I'm going to be posting later on today. One of the things that we are putting out there, I think maybe that's my delivery, I hope so. So keep your eyes and ears open on what I'm going to be posting, talking about. An opportunity for you in the first 10 actually get the biggest discount, which I think is about, what, 90%? Something around there. And then the next 10 will also get a discount, but not as much. And someone already hopped on board as I started mentioning it to women, and I am so absolutely proud of her and excited. So anyways, let's finish this reading just in case that delivery is for me, so I gotta run. The profound shift of an epiphany can occur only when you risk the detour and enter the unknown. Ain't that the truth? Now is the time to trust higher forces and lead you into this place. These worlds hidden at the threshold between what was and what can be. Here's where you will learn about your own unmaking, to unmask yourself. Love what you discover, dark or light. See it all as divine and find a quiet, thrumming power waiting for you to channel it into the world for the good. It's all inside of you, and it's waiting for you to unmask it, to find that treasure. The treasure you find, filled with a wealth of love and kindness, true prosperity, is ripe to share with others. She's here for you now. Will you accept her invitation? A great bounty of goodness awaits you. And that is all for the wisp of the Will-O-The-Wisp. And that's the image. I would love to hear what the image is bringing up for you as well. All of them are just magical. So thank you, everybody. Looking forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Rebecca says, thank you for the reminder. Every day is a magical adventure. 1,000%. It definitely is. Until we go through, as you refer to it, as dark night of the soul, where we don't feel like it is. Or we feel like every day is torture. Every day is a struggle. And I just want this day to be over with. Instead of, why is this day ending already? It was such an amazing day. Tomorrow is going to be even better. And I know it, and I know it, and I know it. And waking up and knowing and having a better day today than yesterday. Every day. Just imagine you have an amazing day, a perfect day. And the next day is even perfecter, is even better. Live that perspective. And then the unicorn emoji. Yes, awesome. So that was not for me, which is awesome. So thank you, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you all in that post that I will be sharing shortly in the group and on my personal page as well. And hopefully seeing you inside of that opportunity and that community that will help you to change and shift your world in ways that you probably haven't even imagined yet. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for now. And until we see each other next Monday live in this group at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Time for another one of these card readings, or maybe I'll see you tomorrow live in the on my personal page. Story time with myself, Yana, and that's it. Until then, have an amazing rest of your day and week if we don't see each other until next week. Thank you for being on here. Bye, everybody.